My physically abusive wife's reaction to Johnny Depp's abuse trial is puzzling. My, M28, wife, F37, has been continually abusive since the start of our marriage. We were married 2 years ago, and in that span the police have come to our house 3 times. Each time she has told them I was the aggressive one but stopped shy of calling me abusive. I film every fight on my phone, and at least once a month she is either tearing the house apart, literally throwing everything I own on the floor, breaking my stuff including cutting my debit cards, hitting, biting, spitting and pulling my hair. I stand calm and try to exit the house as soon as possible, often resulting in something being thrown at the back of my head on the way out. When I return, either she will be in bed moping or will be actively removing my things from the house and putting them outside. I understand she has no respect for me or my things and thinks of us as less than moldy food which she will save and try to salvage. I video everything and the police see it, roll their eyes at her actions and take her away. Their favorite video is one I have of her literally saying after throwing a large coffee mug at my face, "Call the police, they won't believe you, you are a big man and I'm a little girl." I would leave, but we have a 5-month-old son and the majority of these abuses have come since she has been pregnant. And I won't leave my son. And I fear that once he starts talking back she might stop treating him like an angel, which she does now. She is starting to use him to try to manipulate the situations when she gets angry. But when she is calm she refuses to watch my videos and consistently says I started it, or even might laugh when I complain about the physical violence because I'm so big. What shocks me is that she fully supports Johnny Depp and thinks Amber Heard is 100% in the wrong. I have at least 3 hours of video of my wife walking around like a meth head, systematically destroying my stuff including journals, letters, personal documents. And plenty of video showing unprovoked attacks. Yet she won't admit to being abusive. I decided I would stop cleaning the house after she ripped it up. There is a glass plate shattered on the kitchen floor from a week ago that she walks over all day long that she shattered as I was walking out the door trying to avoid a fight this week. She is literally standing over it complaining about Heard's actions, and I'm thinking, WTF? Take your son and leave. She is a danger to you and your child. You have all the proof you need in those videos and the police reports to get full custody. Leave. Take your child with you, and file for divorce. It seems this may be escalating, and if she can't even see that she's abusive, or won't admit it, she's beyond help. Don't let your child grow up witnessing this kind of abuse. That's exactly why Johnny took it from Amber for so long, because he witnessed his mom abuse his dad, and her trying to harm herself after he finally got the courage to leave. End the cycle. Don't stay together for the kid. Get the kid away from the abusive psycho. It's just a matter of time before she starts smacking the kid and calling the kid names too. For the love of God. Show her she is just as Heard by taking her to court and leave her. Why the hell are you still there? So you've documented all these fights. Get them to a divorce lawyer and see if you can get full custody. Husband is literally upset that I leave for work after him and get home before him. WTF? Husband screwed up his job last month by getting randomly drug tested and failing for pot. He got terminated and was without a job for about a month before he got another one. His previous job he loved because he didn't have to be into work until 4 p.m. so he could stay up late and sleep in, and the job was 10 minutes from home. Now he has a job where he works 4 10-hour days and he has to leave the house around 5:30 a.m. and doesn't get home until nearly 5:30 p.m. and he has to travel about 30 minutes one way. I was able to work from home for the past 2 years due to COVID, and boy did he hate that. How I had such a cushy job where I could just get up, grab some coffee, and go sit in front of the computer and do my work. A few weeks ago we had to start a hybrid of 3 days in the office and 2 days at home. Most people I work with think it's ridiculous for us to have to spend the gas money and time commuting to come in 3 days a week when we can do everything we do in the office at home. Especially me, because I am one of the farthest out people and it's about a 45-minute commute both ways, with good traffic. I tell my husband this and of course he has no sympathy, saying I need to stop being a princess and go in without complaining. Okay, so I should pay $50 per week in gas to go to a job that I can do from home and also spend 1.5–2 hours in the car commuting? Well, you know, if he has to go to work then I should have to too. Now on the days I go in, I don't leave until 1.5 hours after him and I'm home 30 minutes before him. He come home yesterday and goes, "You're home already?" "Yeah, just like I have been the past 2 weeks. You've been at this job and you never said anything before." He was literally angry that I leave after him and are home before him. He can't stand the fact that I seem to have it better. I should have to suffer the long days like him. Then he complains that now he also has to cook dinner after being gone all day. Because when I'm home I should have it all planned out. Well, yeah, I could accept the fact that he complains about everything I make. It doesn't taste right or it's cold or something. Last night he told me that I had to do dinner because he was busy working on something. So I tell him, okay, how about burgers and scalloped potatoes? He says, okay, but I'll make the burgers and you can make the potatoes, because they were from a box. Nope, he wouldn't even let me do that because he has a special way of making them and I'd just fuck it up. I was sitting there doing nothing and he's getting gall agitated because he was at work all day and now he has to make dinner while also trying to get something else done. Then when we eat he's all boasting about how great his potatoes are and the burger is good and how everything is hot as it should be because apparently everything I serve ends up being cold and he was just making digs at my cooking. Then stop asking me to make dinner and you flying into a tizzy every time I do because it's wrong. Sounds exhausting to be in this relationship on your end. I can understand expressing maybe jealousy that you aren't as stressed from work, but to be actually angry at you is extremely childish and toxic. He should be happy for you that you don't have to endure the same stress he does. I'm not sure how long he's had this new job, but maybe he's just adjusting. He's still being a dickwad, but hopefully for your sake it's just all new job stress. He's resentful towards you for something that isn't your fault and ultimately isn't even a real problem. You could easily flip the script and ask him how he would feel if you yelled at him for having a 3-day weekend all the time when you're stuck with just the average 2. But really it seems like if you love him and want this to work and aren't looking for, just leave him, type responses. Try suggesting couples therapy. It's normal to be jealous of somebody having an easier work life than you, but to take it out on you as though it's your fault at crossing a line into unhealthy behavior in my opinion. Ask him point blank what he'd like you to do. Would he like you to leave earlier than him and just drive somewhere and sit in your car doing nothing before work starts? Should you go out drinking after work every day so that you get home later than him? Just tell him to come up with what he thinks is the solution to this problem. Had this same round in circles argument with an ex. He'd always be raging that I'd be home first. Even thought I left for work a whole 3 hours before the idiot. Odd behavior from someone who's meant to care. Upside down face. Edit. Frankly, these types of arguments will never end. I tried, for 2 years. Why? Tears of joy. I wasn't happy and didn't realize. You'll find yourself doing things to keep the peace. Like I've seen suggested in comments. No. You don't do that, that's a mentally abusive relationship. Leads to fear, low self-esteem, depression, violin etc. Would love to hear your thoughts though op. Good luck. It sounds like he's pretty upset that his life choices haven't worked out and he's blaming you for it. I had a friend complain about how he couldn't find a good job like mine. I mentioned that while I spent years going to school and working to put me in a position to be qualified for this, he was trying to figure out if he could make a living growing and selling his own drugs. Now, years later, he's acting like I lucked out to have the job I do, or he was unlucky to be where he is. Just curious, but what are his redeeming qualities? Boyfriend held his female coworker at a party. Me, 19 female, and my boyfriend, 21 male, have been dating for a year. Last weekend he had an after-work party and he said I was free to join, so I did. He has a female coworker slightly older than him who he plays tennis with every week. They seem to often write on Snapchat too because there's often a notification from her whenever he shows me something on his phone. So at this party we had a good time. We were both drinking but moderately. We both aren't real fans of getting super drunk. When we started getting towards the end of the night we were sitting around a campfire. I was sitting next to my boyfriend and his coworker on the other side of him. I went to get drinks and when I get back he has his arm around her and she has her arm around my boyfriend. I told him directly that I wanted to go home, it was already late. And I asked about it and he told me she started putting her arm around him and he wanted to play along, so it doesn't get awkward. I felt hurt, and what made it worse was that his first ever move on me when we started dating was that he put his arm around me. I doubt they're just playing tennis together. Interesting that she waited till you left before she started putting her arm around him. It doesn't get awkward? Him doing that is awkward considering you are his partner. His reasoning isn't logical. And I also think there's more between them than just friendship. Tennis. Yeah, okay, dude's a scumbag. If he does that in front of you I can't imagine what he does behind your back. Nah, they're fucking. My wife is planning to cheat. Update: I have thought about it a lot, and I think I will let her go on the weekend. I don't want to do the pick-me dance with her. Also, I will meet a divorce lawyer over the weekend, just to see where I stand. I want to know if we divorce today, then what happens? Who stands to gain or lose what? What might be the custody arrangements and other stuff in divorce about which I have no idea. We don't really need a reason for divorce in my state, that much I know for sure. So I will have a packed schedule for the weekend too. And it will be better if she is not here. And no, I am not going to hire a pie or ask a friend to follow her, that's bonkers. Not every relationship is meant to last. Maybe we're supposed to be together for just a small while. It is what it is. Thank you for the advice, I appreciate it. Op post. Do you live in a no-fault state for divorce? If not, then proving infidelity may mean that you can avoid alimony and ensure that you don't lose too much financially, etc. Hence why you may still need a pie depending on the laws in your state. I agree with just moving on, just make sure you plan for her giving you issues. Record all conversations going forward so that she can't make claims of abuse, etc. Good call. Don't try to play games. Just take it as a signal she no longer wishes to remain married and make arrangements to move on. Fake post. Why would you let her enjoy her weekend of cheating? That you are probably paying for. Just tell her you know what she is doing and put a stop to it. You are too blasé about it. Second, what divorce lawyer works on the weekend? Answer: none. This doesn't ring true. You say you live in a no-fault state, but evidence of adultery is always good to have as ammunition. Everyone thinks their partner will be reasonable until it comes to divorce. Hiring the pie for the weekend won't cost much. At least you'll have that evidence in your back pocket, if needed. I'm really sorry that it's come to this for you. Good luck. Fake post. Seriously, I would tell her you know before she goes. Maybe even just as she's about to leave. This is about you, not her. You don't want to be imagining what is going on, and she will have a great weekend. The fallout from her side will be the same regardless. You can let her have a great weekend, then be distraught having been found out, or she can be distraught and not have a great weekend. Remember, you don't need proof. You don't need to provide her with evidence. You don't need her permission. And you don't need her to agree. Just wait until she is packed, about to leave, and then hit her with what you know. Same result for you. Shitty time for her.